Hi guys, welcome back to our Transits and Tactics series. Oh, this energy this week, the gate 56, the gate of stimulation. It is known as the gate of storytelling. What an amazing time for your online visibility and marketing, guys, because this is all about your imagination running wild and you're telling stories. And sometimes these stories might be slightly bigger than reality is, and that's good. This is what your positioning is. This is what, when you're building your online visibility, your persona online, it has to be bigger and grander and more powerful than what you feel like in real life. This is how it works, right? So this is a perfect energy to look into this and readdress, do a photo shoot, rewrite your website. There is so much is going to be poured out of you. What is your story? Think about your story. And it's sometimes, and I was talking to a client of mine just today, it's sometimes not some sort of like a positive story, like I am this. Sometimes you can just wake up to a thought that evokes like like it's chapter in the book. It just opens a door to a contemplation about a part of your life, or what have you missed out. So that's what storytelling is. Storytelling is not only like a descriptive or informative or motivational stuff. So right now it is about stories. What stories are you are involved in, what you're telling yourself. Take these stories, use that energy, and do something. I think, because I definitely sense this in the air. There's so much amazing like makeovers happening, especially to my brand, not my brand specifically in big way, but somebody else I'm working with, huge makeover. And I can see how like the essence is just coming forth through these stories that we're creating. However, the other, opposite thing is that this is also known as the gate of distraction, because when you're stimulated, imagine this, like you're like, so a lot of things can just go into your focus, and then you want like all these stories, you want to jump on all of them. So be aware that there is this distraction. It will be difficult to focus on one thing at a time. And I was even saying to myself, I'm a projector, as you know, and I was saying I'm like a manifesting generator. My I don't have patience for one thing for a long time. It's just like switching off and to other things. It's okay. Switch between tasks. Overall, if you have your plan, overall you might finish, everything, but you don't have to do it all one thing at a time, because you just have too much stimuli going on in your life right now. And then the earth right now is grounding this with the energy of limitation, because it's in the gate of limitation, gate 60. And so that can sometimes bring restlessness. So imagine if you are stimulated, but you can't do anything about it, or, you feel like there is a limit, or this is not working, or this is not yet available, or this is it. So you can feel a little restless with that. Just be with this, use it as a springboard. Sometimes people meet a limitation and they think that that's it, and then they get frustrated and bitter and, angry. It's not really like melancholy. Melancholy is not such a negative thing. You can springboard out of the misery. You can springboard out of something negative, because you can always think, okay, so this is not happening. There is a limit there. What can I do? And it's interesting because, it can open your mind, I think, to something new. I had this situation in my air yoga class where I have a very enthusiastic trainer, and I love her to bits. But every time you come in and for the next following week, she will give you this routine. And last time she said, okay, so we're not working on our arms enough. So I'm going to get you to do handstands. And there we are, planking and standing. My wrist is very weak. So I was really almost screaming. It was such painful experience. I really felt my limitation, physical limitation. And I considered not to be going that week. That's the kind of, when you face the limitation, you're like, oh no, I don't want to deal with this. But actually, what I realized then, I forced myself to go into the next training, and the same routine happened. And I realized that through this pain, I am going to enjoy so much being stronger in my arms and in my wrist if I continue exercising them. Because if you're not pushing through, nothing's going to happen. You're just going to end up being, same in the same weakness and always the same limitation as you are. And that's really, really interesting to sort of be aware of it in this transit energy. Anita, how are you experiencing this?
Yeah, this is great. What seems to be happening is that I am meeting people who actually have the energies of the week, which I think is very fun. And with this one in particular, what I found was you might find yourself or you might find other people can be stuck in their story from the past and that are kind of not allowing for growth. They're resisting growth at all costs, and they don't realize that it's the story that's keeping them back. So we also have the moon in gate 60 this week, activating full moon, activating gate 60, which is really another version of that breakthrough energy. Can I use my stories to help me break through and, learn whatever I need to learn and move on? Or do I get stuck? And just let overwhelm of change and disruption, the disruption that change might bring, stop me from moving forward. And exactly as Juliette said, the restlessness of needing to do something new, not quite feeling ready, but at the same time, when you feel that feeling, move. Physically move your energy, because you know the way when kids are small and we can distract them quite easily. That distraction can be a huge asset as well. But if you look at the news, it's all about the gory stories. It's all about what's going
Hmm.
wrong, So this energy is very much about moving forward based on what's actually working. And with this as well, and so over the weekend, um, you might feel a melancholic energy around where you feel wounded, around where you feel hurt about um, as a woman almost. This is kind of a very feminine energy, a deep, how we've been hurt as women over the centuries and how we no longer need to hold that burden. We can let the stories go and acknowledge them and move forward. The other thing is, and this is moving in for the next few months, is the nodes have moved into the gate 17 and 18. You might find or experience people judgmental, or you might find that you are extra hard on yourself for no particular reason. Well, here's the reason. It's in the transits. This is the energy that the general public are feeling. And this is the energy that is about correcting to bring more flow, not judging to be right or wrong. So if something isn't working, go, how can I bring more flow, especially in your business, right? Especially where you feel stuck. So you see how these energies play together. So it is in for the next few months. So when you feel people are extra critical, they probably are. That energy is there, but back in balance. When you're grounded and centered, that energy is beautiful energy of correcting so that you can move forward based on what's working.
I
I think,
love it. Yeah,
yeah.
I love it. Yeah, the one thing that you're talking about judgment of people, and I think that being aware that there is this, people can express the unsolicited advice even that can come across as criticism and judgment. It's about how we perceive things as well as, them actually doing this. But that brings me, and I want to mention this today, that brings me down to there are people in this life that are correct for you, or their opinion or judgment is correct for you in that moment. And then there's everybody else. And to be honest with you, everybody else doesn't matter. It's only people who are your people, who are correct for you, who are open to you, who are accepting you, their opinion and their criticism constructively, their judgments, good or bad. Those are the ones that we need to consider, because sometimes we might not see something that is more obvious to others, but that other, you have to question that, who that other is, because we get upset and hurt by somebody saying something, and then we're taking it on board and we're carrying it like our stories, we're carrying it all with us, right? But at the end of the day, that person was completely irrelevant to our life, to what we were doing, to this specific thing that they wanted to, give us advice on. People like sounds of their voices, yeah, but we can't control that. We can't control what they think. We can't control what they're going to say. So question it before you get hurt, before you start carrying this all around this story. Ask yourself, was it this person even relevant? Yes, it didn't feel right, it didn't feel nice. Of course, this is, we can't stop that. But after that, it might be much easier to have this personal boundary. They're not my people. They don't matter. So I love you, I respect you, but I don't give a flying banana about what you think. That's a
Mhm.
very good attitude to have.
Exactly. Don't accept criticism from someone you wouldn't normally ask for advice.
Even if you know them, even if they're people, even if they're the closest people in your life, they don't have, by being that, they don't have the right to have a judgment on everything you think, do, want, desire, dream of, right?
Mm.
It's your personal thing. Be protective of this. We are not protective enough of this, and we just give power away. That's why I just went on this rant, but it's really important. It's really
It
important.
is, because imagine if you're kind of a perfectionist. I don't know about you, but very often I might have done 99% of things right and 1% wrong. And I'm inclined to focus on the distraction, that's this energy of the one thing that's wrong instead of all the things that are right.
It's
Okay.
so common. Oh my God,
Yeah,
Anita, it's so
yeah,
common. Like you'll create something fantastic and somebody just passerby goes by and says, why is this thing there? And then you're hooked up on why this is it there? You lose your sleep, you can't think, you're trying to figure it out. It doesn't matter.
yeah,
And they
yeah.
were irrelevant anyway. Why are you listening? It's interesting because it's like a muscle that is, needs flexing and needs becoming stronger and stronger. But it's really good to practice that kind of thick skin to
Yeah.
the world around you. And I think when things like that happen, you can even like create, like have an exercise, like a go-to exercise, a little bit of journaling or something. Okay, what did I do right? List it. Those are
Mm.
all the things that are right. What do I now, right now, feel like maybe I did wrong based on this? What is wrong? You will see, first of all, how the scales will show you straight away that this is irrelevant. And the next question, were they even relevant to
Mm.
this? And I
Exactly.
think that that can help. We just need these things to, to let go of these feelings and stories. And I love that we're talking about this in the gate of stimulation, in the gate of storytelling.
It's perfect. And ask your decision, ask your inner decision. Make sure you're emotionally neutral and ask your decision strategy, not your mind, because your mind will get thrown into the stories, right? That proving it,
That's right.
justifying it, all that thing. So it's really good. It's really good energy this week. I love it. I love this
Yeah,
energy.
so much, so much. And it's on a personal level, and it's also on as I mentioned at the start, it's on your business level. It's so great to ask yourself, are you telling yourself a story that's fully aligned with this larger version of you, of your current direction, of your future direction? What intentions do you have, even if they feel scary? What intentions do you have? How can you channel those into your life, into your content, into your visuals? Such a wonderful, wonderful week. So I hope that you guys are going to take advantage of this week. And a little spoiler, next week is just as awesome. So we will see you on the next week's episode. Thank you so much, and bye.